What happens when you decide to watch every horror movie in every horror franchise for the modern era? You start to reevaluate your life decisions. That's what happens. But we did it anyways, with the goal of pitting every franchise up against each other to once and for all determine which franchise is the king or queen of all horror franchises. The only rule we have is that the franchise must have at least 5 movies. It must of course be horror related, and it has to be from the 80s or more recent. Franchises that start out in the 70s but mainly goes through the 80s and newer counts. Starting out the whole shebang, we have the franchises that by far delivers the most boobs, sex, and gore. Wrong turn. We will be going through the franchise all the way up till the remake. Before we, at the end, look at the movie that started it all back in 2003, Wrong Turn itself. To finally answer the long-lost question, was this movie good enough to start a franchise consisting of 6 movies and a remake? We are one step closer, so let's take a look at Wrong Turn 5.
I'm gonna say this movie made Wrong Turn 4 look pretty damn good.
You think so? Oh, okay, never mind. It did.
My biggest question for you, and we're gonna try to answer this through this video, is that who is the stupidest character in this movie? Because we have a few contenders.
Yeah.
But let's just go through the scenes and
then we'll talk about it.
Yeah. But we can. So this one starts off with. Not only does it start off with a sex scene, this one has a lot of sex as well, and for some reason they make the sex scene so long.
Again, awkwardly long.
But let's start with the beginning, because it starts off pretty weird. First of all, we are introduced to a new character, Maynard, who is portrayed to be the hillbilly's father.
Father.
So the main characters are driving a car, and Maynard walks into the road. So the friends has to maneuver the car.
Yep.
Don't hit him. Hits the tree instead.
He basically said it. It's so stupid how they didn't hit him, but when they crashed, he was laying on the ground. And so what do? They run over there and make sure he's okay. Oh no. You know, basically thinking that they hit him and so... Mofos, did you feel the impact or not?
Yeah, what she said. Like, he's laying on the ground. Like, you don't need to have gone to college to understand that doesn't add up.
No, it was the...
You don't even have to finish middle school to understand that. I didn't hit anything, so why the fuck is he lying on the ground? Of course, it's a trap, and he cuts one of them, and they start to beat the living shit out of him.
Yeah. And what's funnier is the cops show up out of nowhere.
Shabab.
The cops show up out of nowhere. And it's funny because they just get out and they go, put your hands up. Get ready, suckers.
Yeah, but it's just like American cops. Just... Okay, so yeah, the sheriff comes to arrest them, and then she leaves one of the deputies behind.
Yep.
So he can make sure the tow truck will get the car and all that.
Yeah.
Junior, yeah. And this is where I kind of like just shook my head, because the hillbillies are up in the hill there. When you see, the funny thing is that when you see this scene from their angle, they're pretty damn close to the road, so how they are not spotted, because they're not behind anything.
Yep.
Anyway, that's the least of the scene's problem. So they run out of the forest, the trees, towards the cop, and Three Fingers has a bow and arrow.
Yep.
What does the cop do? What does this American cop do when he sees someone run towards him with a bow and arrow?
He stands still.
He doesn't do anything.
No.
Did Dudley squad.
Did
So
he have his hand on the gun though?
he had and then he didn't have the hand on his gun anymore. And he gets shot with an arrow. And this is like impressive, because he gets shot with 2 arrows back to back so freaking fast. I think Three Fingers has some elf genes in him.
No. What?
He kind of looks like Legolas too.
No!
So then we are starting to get to know the sheriff, which we understand as a sheriff and a human being. She fucking sucks.
She did. She was the stupidest deputy I've ever seen in any movie.
Yeah.
And I watch a lot of B horror movies.
Yeah.
Especially the, I got shot in the arm, I can't walk, I'm limping now. Those type
Yeah.
of B horror movies.
Yeah.
I watched those. But she was like the worst.
Yeah. So at some point she does release everyone except Billy from the cells, because Billy has confessed that it was his stash of drugs in the car or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they all like scatter and eventually die one by one. I'm gonna point out one death in this movie that was super weird.
Okay.
And that is Cruz, which is Billy's girlfriend. Because I felt like they tried to portray her as something special, because when she died, which was a stupid death, they played some sort of sad music.
Yeah, as the hillbilly was feeding her.
Yeah,
guts.
so she gets stabbed in the stomach. And of course, when you get stabbed in the stomach, you just give up. Your life is over. No point in fighting. And she's just standing there like this.
Well, she dropped to her knees.
Yeah, and then she drops down, and he starts feeding her intestines, and she's like, she just, people in these movies just accept their like death so soon.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure if I got stabbed in the stomach,
I'd be screaming and running.
I would
I'd hold.
I
my
would
guts
do
and
something.
run.
I would react to it.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure you have a fight or flight modus in your like just your instincts.
Oh yeah.
So you want to survive. So it's so weird that they do this all the time in these movies.
Yeah.
Like, people are just like fucking pussies. Yeah. You get stabbed in the stomach. Keep fighting, you pussy. So she gets killed, and basically everyone else gets killed.
Yep.
And then we get to one of the stupid scenes. So now we're gonna like start the competition of who's the stupidest between the sheriff, Angela, and Lita. So all this time, Maynard has been in his prison cell, and he's a cocky bastard. He just keeps telling them like, "My boys are gonna get ya," just like that. And at some point, and this is after the hillbillies, his sons, have killed several of their friends.
Yeah.
Lita she says that at this point it would be justice for her friends to release Maynard. Of course, so that not more people die, but like, how the fuck is that justice for your dead friends?
It made no fucking sense.
It is.
To let a killer go free is justifiable. Yeah.
If that was my friend, I would have killed her. That's justice. So now we're starting to see how stupid Lita is.
Yep.
And this is not the stupidest she's been or is gonna be.
Nope. But let's talk about the cop lady now. Let's talk about her most stupidest part that I hated so much was when she spotted her, was it her husband? So it is her husband, right? In the car?
Whatever.
So she spots the car, her husband's car, and she goes over there slowly. You can see him from the mirrors that he's gagged. So therefore, I mean, it's apparent that he's tied. And he can't get himself out. Something is wrong. And he's making the noises, you know, shouting or trying to shout. And you can tell because his window's wide open. And what does she fucking do? She walks right over and just opens the fucking door.
Yep.
And the little hook that's like hooked into his stomach slices him open.
Yep.
Why are you so stupid that one, you didn't walk up to the window realizing it's open and him screaming
He's
and
like,
yelling? Yeah, he was. really trying to get your attention not to do it, you would have seen that there was a hooked inside of him or something, and then fucking take off the damn tape off his mouth so he can tell you or something, or go to the passenger side and open that door and figure out how to freaking remove him from that little trap.
Yeah.
But she didn't. She killed him, and then she didn't even cry or weep or anything.
No.
There was like hardly any reaction from her.
But maybe the only explanation I can have is that maybe this isn't the first time he's been gagged and have a hook in him in the car. I don't know. Maybe. Now we're gonna go back to Lita again, because now the contest is really like ramping up here.
Right now they're still like even.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be tipping over to one side soon. So Lita is alone with Maynard. This is at the end of the movie, or we're closing in on the end, and he convinces her to let him out.
Yep.
And she's pointing a gun at him, and she tells him, "Go back in your cell. Stay back." She opens the cell. He comes out, and she moves with him at like a short distance.
Yeah.
So she keeps moving after him while pointing a gun,
Yep.
which is. I'm gonna say, I'm not sure if this is the actress' fault or if it's the writer's fault.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, because there's so many people involved in making a movie that not even a single person said in that scene, maybe we should do this again and don't follow him with your gun, because you're acting fucking stupid right now. But no one does that. No one asked in all of these movies in the franchise. Not a single time does anyone in the production, the writers, directors, producers, actors, never ask, why are we doing this? Does this make sense? Should we do something different? Why am I doing this? What is my problem?
That was major. That
Well,
made
it's a
major
stupid
deals.
scene, and
Yeah, and it ended even more dumb. That scene, because what was the line that they said before he
said he had a one-liner. I
It
don't
was
know,
really
something
dumb,
with
but he
like,
did-
now you see or now you don't see or whatever.
something
But
like that, and you see him turn. Like,
yeah, and you see the close-up of the eyes.
Yeah.
And like he manages to stab both of her eyes out with let's say it's a spoon, I don't know, it's a knife.
Yeah.
While she's holding a gun, we hear a gunshot go off.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna guess he is fucking super fast.
Super ninja.
Yeah. But
He was able to
yeah.
disarm her with the gun and with the spoon, and
Yeah. So she's
Gouge her eyes out.
blind now, and
But now let's go to the ending, where I had mentioned to you that it's really fucking weird. Okay, so you see her again, and her eyes are gouged out, and she's crying, and she's walking on the street out of the town, right? So as she's walking, you see the hillbillies driving from another direction, going towards her, but they're also leaving the town. So how are they meeting? How? If she left town and they left town, is it such a small town that it just goes around in a loop, in a circle, and then there's it's like a spoon kind of a road? I don't get it, because they met her on the road and then they drove the way that she came walking from. So what's the actual fuckery?
but like out of
How?
all the things that happens in this movie, that's what you're gonna ask questions
Come
about?
on, it's a stupid scene. I mean,
She's
there's a
fucking
lot of-
blind! Maybe she's walking the wrong way, she went the right way and then she walks backwards. She's blind, for fuck's sake!
You really think so?
I
Just
have
kept
to
walking,
think so.
and she was like, I think I'm going the wrong way. Let me turn around.
Have you ever tried to
walk.
walk blindfolded? You
Yeah,
have
but
no
if
sense of
if
direction.
I'm walking in just one direction, I'm walking in that one direction
You
forever.
think you're walking
I'm
in
not
one
gonna
direction?
walk
Has
in
you?
and turn. The road was so small. Because if she was going in a direction, she was stupid. Come on, it was all surrounded by
If
trees
she
and forest.
walked in one direction, she's stupid.
Now you got me
you got
walking in
yourself
one
lost.
direction, okay? She would have not known that she was walking on the road still, or she might have walked into the forest. But if she went to the forest, what are you saying? That she was smart enough to turn back around and get back on the street?
I think it's just plausible that she has no freaking idea which direction she goes in, and she went in a circle or turn around at some point. Because, like, why are we even discussing this? This is the least stupid thing in the movie.
Okay, fine.
Oh my lord. Okay, so I'm gonna give you one, like, mind-blowing fun fact now.
Okay.
And I didn't know this until afterwards because I didn't recognize him. But you know Maynard, who is played by Doug Bradley? Do you know who Doug Bradley is?
No.
It's fucking Pinhead.
Really?
He played Pinhead in almost all the Hellraiser movies, except a few last ones.